Hi everyone, this is Robert. Just before I begin this next video, I just have to apologise for the noise in the background. That's my old fan which I used in my room here. He's a little bit noisy being that he's old, but he works great, so I'm sorry, I just have to put up with that. I'll try and remember the noise and maybe speak a bit louder if I have to, alright? Okay. Also, we're babysitting our cat. My son's cat for a week, so sometimes she will have a meow session. So if you do hear meowing going on in the background sometimes, it's only the cat. Please don't be alarmed. Okay, thanks. Hello everybody, good to be with you again on this beautiful hot sunny day. Saturday, the 12th of July. Now, this next game I'm showing you is by request because one of the subscribers, Jay, has asked me to add a game played against a much weaker player for the purpose of how to break them down quickly and, well, if you like, smash them up. So Jay, if you're watching this, this is how I did it. Okay. I take no delight in showing you how to beat a weak player quite easily, but it is useful for people like Jay who wants to know more about how to beat weaker opponents quickly without giving them too much of a chance against you. My opponent here was a Mr. K.O'Rourke. He was South African and he'd not long come in the country, I believe. If this is the same gentleman. He wasn't a young man, he was about my age, I think. And he played this game on the 16th of no, that's not the one. That's not the played this game on the 16th of, or rather the 10th of June 2017. I did win this major section and Kevin was my first opponent, I believe. Totally unknown as far as I was concerned. He had no rating. I was talking to him for the game and he said that he'd not long arrived in England and played a bit of chess over in South Africa. I'm sure he said he was from South Africa, and that he was looking forward to playing some chess in England. I don't know if he was only here for a break or whatever, but in this particular tournament, apart from the half point he got by, he lost every other game, so he wasn't a strong player at all, but he had some ideas. And I rated that, the fact that he tried to have a go, which is always creditable when you have to play a stronger opponent. Myself, when I play a lot of stronger opponents, especially in the Bristol League, they're so well versed in their openings and everything. If you don't play it right in the openings, then the game's already sort of going to be over before it's over. And it's a bit like that in a way with us slightly weaker ones who play even weaker ones. It's usually in the openings that you get them, and so I'm going to show you this game and I hope it will be instructive for you, Jay, and anyone else who thinks the same as Jay, that they would like to see a game against some weaker opponents so as to get some ideas. So this is what happened in this game. I was white and I played e4 and Kevin played e5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop c4, h6, knight f3, knight c6, castles. As you can see, I'm not in any hurry. I don't know anything about this guy. For all I know, he could be a 200 player who hasn't been registered yet properly in the Bristol League because they got no information on him. So I just played him like I would and showed him all the respect he deserved. Then he played d6, so far he's not playing too badly. h6, a6, a4, knight d7. It's not really a good move because he's blocking in his bishop. He should, bishop e7 and castle would have been better for him. I don't know what he's trying to do here, but this was not a good move, and it gave me a chance to get my attack going very quickly. With d4, he went knight to g6, pawn takes pawn. Now the ideal is if he should take with the pawn, I can play bishop takes pawn check, and when he plays king takes bishop, I got queen takes queen. Or if I play bishop takes pawn check, the only other alternative is he has to go king to e7, and then I've got bishop takes knight on g6. So he has to take with the knight, but he didn't. He went knight to d7, and here now is where I understood the strength of this player was not strong at all. He had very little understanding of how to coordinate his pieces in the opening play. He was faffing around with his knights too much. It's going to cost him because he's just not developing the rest of his pieces, and so I pushed on the pawn with e6, and here he should, if anything, just play pawn takes pawn. Should have played pawn takes pawn, but instead he played knight into e5, which allowed me to play pawn takes pawn, check. He retook with the knight, and I played queen d5, threatening checkmate. And this is only after 12 moves, and even though he's only a pawn down, it's not looking good for him. So he went queen e7 to block that. So that was first, good move he made defensively. Then I went queen to h5, attacking that knight, because he has really to go to e5, and then after knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, and he's still in the game. But he played bishop. Now this is not good, because when you've got a piece hanging which is being attacked, you have to move that piece or defend it. What you don't do is to play another piece out attacking a piece of mine, when all I have to do is to play knight into d5 attacking the queen, and after bishop takes knight, pawn takes knight, he's now exposed with a rook to e1 move, pinning his queen, and he's got an hanging knight as well, so maybe queen f6. But he castled long on the queen side, which is not a good move because he's just dropped another piece now. So he's dropped a piece now, so he's a piece down, and this game's not looking good. So he's gone knight into e5, knight takes knight, queen takes knight, bishop e3. So I'm getting my pieces up, I've connected my rooks. He's very weak on all the white squares around his queen and f5, d6, f7. So he's played bishop e7, queen back to g4 check, king to b8. I played rook f to e1 with a discovered check on a7 with my bishop, which will win me the queen. So he's tapped my queen. So fair enough. I brought my queen back, still got my threat. What's he going to do? Move this queen. So here he's showing signs of understanding threats and sneaky attacks and things like that. And it seems like after he got out the opening, he's playing a bit better. He's playing a bit better now, but he's still making mistakes along the way, as you'll see. So I played c3. This is two moves. One is to protect the b pawn, and the other is to bring the queen out to b3, where I can go bishop takes pawn on a6 if possible. So here he comes. He's showing some aggression here against me now. g5, but the problem is I've got bishop d4. He's just not looking ahead. He seems to be a one-move dimensional player. He's not looking at the opponent at all, what they're doing. Only like last move with the threat of winning the queen. So he moved the queen back to f7. Bishop takes rook. Rook takes bishop. I've gone queen takes b and carrying on with my plan. All the time I'm forming plans. 2-3 move plans. That's going to help me win this game. Little combinations, tactics, things like that. And he's showing no signs of that. All he's doing is just moving pieces to try and get an attack going, but he's losing material all the time. It's not good at all. So now he's got a direct threat of queen takes pawn check. So it's not a mating attack, but it's giving him something. So I just played rook e2. Simple as that. I don't have to go overboard trying to smash him up. You've got to play defensively when you have to play defensively. You can take care of the rest of it afterwards, but there's no reason to allow your opponent any chance getting back in the game when there is no chance. It's just poor play to let them do that. So now he's played his king to c8. Again, you see, he saw that threat. You can see some threats, but positionally his planning is poor and his general game is poor. But he's been better since he's got out of the opening. So now double my rooks up with rook a to e1. So I'm attacking his bishop. He has to do something about that, so he moves it back. Again, he responded to the threat, which is the right way to play. That part of his game seems fine. It's the rest that is definitely weak. So I brought my queen back now, as that plan's not going to work anymore. Queen d3, attacking that pawn on a4. So he's moved his pawn on to g4. Now this is a threat. If he busts my king side out with pawn takes pawn, I'll be forced to go g3. He could then come down to queen f3, threatening checkmate on g2, but I do have a queen to e4, which stops it. I do have queen e4, which would stop the checkmate. But I played rook e3. I'm still covering f2 with my queen. So after pawn takes pawn, I can take the rook. So now he's attacking the rook. This is a good move. He's playing. Last couple of moves, he's really showed he does understand the game. And I think getting himself in trouble in the opening is what's done it for him. So I have to respond to that. So I move my rook back. So he could play pawn takes pawn now. In which case, I do like I said, g3. That still stops him from busting me open. So he played bishop to f4. I guess he wants to go bishop into e5 to stop the rooks from having activity down the e file, but it's too late for that. He's just, by moving his bishop off of the d8 h4 diagonal, it's allowed me to go queen to e7, attacking his. It's allowed by playing bishop to f4. He's gone off of the d8 h4 diagonal, and it's allowed me to play the rook down to e7, attacking his queen. This is very strong for me. He's gone queen into g8, and here I just moved my pawn on one square so that he can't go pawn takes pawn and have that serious threat of checkmate on the g2. And he played g3, so I just played f3, and that's the end of the threat. Unless he could take that pawn on h4, there is no threat now. So he played bishop to e5, disconnecting my rooks, but I have to keep this going. So I played queen into h7, offering a queen swap, also threatening to take the pawn on h5. More importantly, rook takes c7 check. So he's gone queen into the corner to h8. Now I can swap the queen. I took the pawn because it's a check and it's going to be checkmate. If he goes to d8, then it'll be queen d7 mate. If he goes to b8, it will be rook takes pawn check, and then it's checkmate in either one or two moves. So he's gone. He's now played king to d8, which is fatal because of queen d7 checkmate. So he made a little bit of a fight of it with his pawn pushes down the king's side, but he was seriously flawed and very loose in a lot of his play. I don't want to be too critical of the man. He hasn't played much chess, as he told me. He played very little. Perhaps he was a good player when he was younger. He was rusty and he hadn't played for years, so it's understandable. I could see that he had played chess. He did have an understanding, so he did the best he could on the day. So this is an instructive game on how to attack weak players and find the weak spots and try and win material, not go all out smash bang wallop trying to checkmate them in the first 10 moves. But as you degrade their playing strength by taking off some pieces or pawns, it gets harder for them to stay in the game then. And also you have to have an eye on your defense, because you can easily get caught out and lose a one game. And I've always said to my subscribers on here, when you have a one game, you still have to go and win it. Just because it's a one game on the board doesn't mean it's won until you administer that defeat on your opponent. So I hope that you've found this enjoyable, and I'll be with you with another game pretty soon. Thank you.